All right, guys, we're here with the Cleveland Arm Wrestling team, and of course, I lost my brand new Bluetooth microphone, so we're going to have to pass this thing around. But we're going to be doing our prediction video for Dawg Fights 5. That's going to take place January 6th in Wellington, Ohio at Inner Circle Gym. And these dog fights are just getting bigger and better every time. So we're going to go ahead and predict the matches now. You got your phone on you, Nick? Can you pull up the matches real quick? Yeah. All right. I think we got 9 or 10 matches scheduled this time. And
How many matches did we have last time?
About 10, I think. Yeah, I think 10 is our limit because once you go past 10, it just starts dragging on. So we'll probably do 5 matches on the undercard, take a little intermission, and then we'll do 5 main event matches. So I will hand the microphone over to Nick if you want to start with the first match and prediction.
Is this the first one?
Yep, first one will be Justice Black versus Gage Black.
Yeah. All right, dude, so the Battle of the Blacks. Anyway, so Justice Black, young blood. I'm pretty sure now he's in the top 5 in Ohio in 154, and he hasn't even graduated high school yet. Like, the kid is an absolute stud. The issue is he's going up against another absolute stud in Gage Black. So I think for this one, Gage is – I don't even know if Gage has been doing it longer. Has he? So Gage is just a master in the strap. It's amazing how different it is in the strap going against him. Justice is just like – you don't even realize how strong this kid is. So I'm hoping this is a good match. I'm going to take Gage on this one. I think he's a little bit older, a little bit more mature on the table. But I'm expecting this to be a good match. I'm going to take Gage. What you got, Rich?
I think I'm going to piggyback on what you said, Nick. So it's going to be a grinder. I just don't want to see anyone get blasted out of the water. We all here to see a really good match on the entire card. So, I'm going to go with what you said, but I hope it's like a 3-2, something really close and tight and a bit of a grinder.
Yeah, that's what we deserve as fans.
Yeah, so Justice, he's coming off that big win versus Drew Hollinger. I spoke with Drew after the match. He said he had a pretty brutal weight cut, and he wasn't at his peak performance. Not taking anything away from Justice in that match, but that may have played a factor. I also think Gage, like Nick said, is a little bit more mature, a little more seasoned in the sport. His post and his hand are very strong. I'm going to have to give the edge to Gage as well.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. Like you said, his back pressure, in the setup, it's crazy. So I don't know how Justice is going to do with that, how he's going to handle it in the setup. I guess it all depends on if he can combat Gage's back pressure off the rip, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm going to have to go with Gage too.
I'm going to second that. I got to go with Gage too because table IQ.
Justice could come through.
Hey, Justice could.
I think it's going to be a crazy match either way.
It's going to be very close. Both of them are going to be trying to post top roll, so
yeah,
that's what I'm assuming. So
but I also
hold both of the guys. So.
All right, what do we got next here, Nick?
Brennan and Clint.
All right, Brennan versus Clint melee. So Brennan, he doesn't come to practice very often, but he trains with me almost every day at the gym, and I know for a fact that he's getting stronger.
That makes it unfair.
Right. He's got the edge right off the bat there. Clint, he hasn't been here the last couple weeks. I guess he had a little illness going on. So you got Brennan, who's peaking, and you got Clint, who may be on a little bit of a downward spiral for the past couple weeks. I'm going to go with Brennan, only because I know where he's at right now, and I just don't know where Clint's at. Nick?
Yeah, this is a tough one because Clint is such a, generally speaking, consistent piece here at practice. Brennan really is coming into his own, and seeing what he did against Morgan in the last Dawg Fights. Morgan won 3-0, but it wasn't. You can't just go by the score of that match. Brennan seemed to be in it. And for how new he is to the sport, it's pretty cool to see. I'm going to take Brennan on this one. This is nothing personal for Clint. Love the guy. I just think Brennan, where he's at currently and where Clint's at currently, I got to call it how I see it.
So I think Brennan is the favorite, obviously, but there's always what you call the puncher's chance. So Clint, even though like you seem to be like the underdog in this match, I think both guys are great. There's always that chance. Everyone at any certain day can be beatable. So hopefully Clint will show up and put up a good fight.
Yeah, and I think Clint, he likes playing that underdog role. He likes coming into these matches and trying to prove people wrong, so we'll see if he can do that.
Yeah, so I know Clint's hand is strong. I haven't pulled him in like over a month. Like you said, he's been kind of out, so have I. So I'm going to have to go with Brennan just because I pulled him the last time, and he was definitely upgrading tremendously. So like you said, he don't go to practice often, but he's also got a lot longer arm than Clint, and he seems like he's getting to be a little more experienced over time too, pulling with you. So I'm going to have to go with Brennan on this one.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Brennan too for
Yeah, you got
don't get upset, Clint. Love you to death.
Yeah.
Brennan's got more leverage on you, buddy.
Yeah, he does.
All right, match number 3, we got Chris Woods versus Billy Collins. This one's going to be heated. I don't know much about Chris Woods, except I practiced with him on the side table a little bit after one of the Badger battles. He's got a very big and very strong hand. As far as Billy Collins, I think he's got a little bit more experience. Obviously, he's a certified referee. He knows the rules. He knows this sport in and out. I'm going to have to go with Billy Collins. I did recently speak with Chris Woods, though. He says he's on another level right now. Whether he is or not, we will find out.
Who said they're on another
Chris Woods, he said he's on another level right now. If he, yeah. If he doesn't blow through Billy Collins, though, I'm going to be very disappointed for you saying that.
I got to take myself out of this one. I don't know Chris Woods. I know Billy. I hope he wins because I think he's a great guy. But, best of luck to both of them.
Never seen Chris Woods pull, but from what I understand, he's from West Virginia, and so I know they got some really good guys out there. So, I mean, from personal experience, I've practiced with Billy a few times, and I know his fundamentals and his table IQ are solid. So, I'm curious as to see what happens in this match.
I don't know Chris either, so I'm going to have to stick with Billy just because I know Billy's strong and I pulled him a couple times. I know he's also been trading Mr. Black too, so we'll see how, it's going to be pretty cool to see it all go down.
Chris Woods, Voodoo Woods. I watch a lot of Aftermath, arm wrestling. They're out of Beckley, West Virginia. They have been going a little bit everywhere, training with a little bit of everybody. These guys seem really strong. I hope Chris takes it to Billy. So there we go. Let's go, Chris.
Wow, okay.
All right. Yep, we're a little split right there. So next match is going to be Rich Gasky versus Brian Vollmer.
Greg and Christian.
Oh, yep, missed that one. So Greg Arnold versus Christian Ashby. This will probably be one of the closer matches on the card, I think. Greg Arnold, he's been around for so long. Obviously, his dad has been pulling since the 80s probably. They train with each other all the time. Greg is very fundamentally sound and very explosive. Christian, on the other hand, one of the biggest, strongest hands in the division. Like I said, this is probably going to be one of the most even matches. I'm going to give the edge to Christian solely because of his hand strength.
So if you haven't had a chance to, Greg Arnold actually has a really cool YouTube channel where he breaks down his matches. So I've had the pleasure of going through some of his stuff. Real smart kid. Christian also very smart, really strong on the table, hell of a hand. I think Greg's going to come in probably a little heavier. I don't know how much of a difference that's going to make. I know they're in 2 different classes though, right? Christian's at 176.
Well, he's up to 190.
Oh, is he now?
I think they're going to be very close in weight.
Who's getting weight?
Yeah.
I'm still gonna give the edge to Greg on this one. It's just what my gut's feeling. Christian's got one hell of a hand though, so that's gonna be tough to get through whoever you are.
Christian. Just based off of my experience, I mean, I've pulled him the last couple of times at a couple of the practices, and he's like everyone else, leveling up, but it's his hand. So, you know, if the other guy can match his hand, then we have a really good match. If not, you know, we know what hand control can do in a match. So that's why I got to go with Christian.
Fair enough.
I know Christian's been pulling with Todd Hutchings, with Jason a little bit. I'm just going to have to say, you know, Christian, Mr. Ashby's insane. So I might have to go with Ashby on this one.
Christian.
Short and simple from Lawrence. All right, now we move on to Rich Gasky and Brian Vollmer, the big boys, the heavyweights. I believe this is their 3rd meeting, and I think Brian has won the previous 2.
Oh.
I think so. I think Rich has leveled up. Like you said, this is right. It's just all going to come down to if Rich has leveled up enough to compete with Brian. I think he has. Rich's inside game is strong enough that I think it could get through Brian's back pressure. I'll give the edge to Rich Gasky.
Yeah, I didn't realize that Brian had won the last 2 of this one. I'm going to go with Rich. If we're looking at past performances, one, I just know Rich a little bit better than Brian, but 2, I thought Brian, although he won his last dog fight, it was a little bit more close than I was expecting it to be. And for that, just kind of extrapolating out, I'm going to take Rich on this one.
I think it's time for Rich Gasky to drop the hammer. His back is up against the wall, 2-zip already, so like he's got nothing to lose, and I think he knows this, and sometimes as an athlete, that just makes you dangerous. So I got Gasky on this one.
Yeah, I'm also going to have to go with Rich on this one. I know Rich is super strong. He's got a good sticky point. If he can catch you and hold you there, then, you know, he can bring it back pretty quick.
I'm going to have to go with Brian just because I've seen Brian. Brian's out in the scene more. I don't know exactly what Rich is doing with himself. Don't hardly see him at practice. I know he does train. I mean, you can tell it when he comes to practice.
He's
But
been pulling with Todd a little bit, too.
I don't know. I think Brian's going to come over with consistency.
Lawrence thinks he's going to make it 3-0 in this trilogy. All right, another big match. We got Niles Anderson versus Adam Martin.
Ooh.
And yeah, another good match. I know Adam has a very strong and very fast press. However, Niles has a very strong bicep and hook. If he can catch that press with his up pressure hook, we could be in for a battle. I honestly don't know who's going to win this one. Hard one to choose. I'm going to go with Niles Anderson, though.
No comment. I don't know these guys. I can't in good conscience make a prediction.
I'm gonna play this one out in my head, right? So like, I've practiced with the fat bags for about a year, and I know if Adam is healthy, what he can do in that press. I think what will happen is if Adam throws the press and Niles catches it, then we're gonna have one heck of a match. If he can't catch Adam's press, then it's gonna be lights out.
comment on this one either.
No comment on it.
I don't know either.
All right, on to the next match.
I think it's going to be Eric Rich.
Eric Morrison versus Rich Calero. I know they pulled left-handed. How long ago was that, Rich?
That was Billy Collins
Was it within the year? Within the year, do you think?
a couple of months ago.
So a few months ago, they pulled left-handed. It was a pretty good match. No, it's a right-handed match now. So when they pulled left-handed, it was a pretty good match. Rich ended up getting the upper hand. I think both competitors are better right-handed. However, I think Rich is going to be above where Eric Morrison's at.
You could be honest, like, don't
No.
say me just because I trained with you.
Well, I know you a lot better than I know Eric too. So I've never seen many of Eric Morrison's matches. I just know he's stronger right-handed, and I know you guys had a good left-handed match, but I'm going to have to go with Rich Calero on this one.
3-0 Eric Morrison. just kidding. There's two YouTube videos out there where Rich and Eric are both pulling Tyler Hoyt. Rich had the better of him there. I've never seen them pull together, so hard for me to make this prediction, but I'm going to say Rich on this one just because he had an easier time in that video. Not a lot of data for me to go off of.
They call him Mo, right? Yeah. All right, cool. Don't take this personal, but if you're training really, really hard, which I assume you are, my recommendation is that you train Mo. Because I feel like I had a rough 2023. Had some good wins, hard losses, and that's the name of the game. But, like, being that this is going to be the first match of the year for me, I ain't taking no losses. So I'm not saying that I'm going to wipe the floor with him. I expect for him to bring the best version of himself. But I don't see myself losing to him.
You heard it from the man himself, Eric. Train Mo.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go with Rich on this one also.
I got to take Rich Calero on this one.
All right, the Cleveland guys are sticking together there. And actually, this one might be the main event. So we'll move on to my match, I believe. So it's going to be myself, Kevin Palco, obviously, versus Michael James. And the last time we pulled was at Gus's, I think 2 or 3 years ago. I ended up winning that super match. However, I know Michael has leveled up huge since then. The last time I pulled with him at like a practice or anything was a few months ago, and his hand felt like iron. So I think this match will probably be a lot closer than a lot of people think. A lot of people might not know Michael James, but I think he's ranked number 4 in the 176s in Ohio. So this will be a tough match, and obviously I hope I come out with the victory. But as always, my matches are wars, and that's what I'm going to expect.
So, Kev, at East Ohio, you went up against the 176s, right? Was there anybody ranked in that class?
Not nationally.
Okay.
That I know of.
Gotcha. This is hard to say because I don't know Michael James. I just know that Kevin's, super strong. Kev, I can't really make a comment on this one. I just don't know Michael enough.
Michael, is it? I've never seen Michael pull, so I can't really, I don't have an opinion on him, but, like, I know Kevin pretty damn well, and just based off of his last experience in the last tournament that he went to out in Gus's, I know that he's coming full steam ahead in 2024, and Kevin, I've said it before and I'll keep saying it again, is a future GOAT, and wins and losses are part of the growth in any sport as an athlete, and I expect to see a completely different version of Kevin in the next Dawg Fights.
Yeah, I keep forgetting this is the first match of 2024, so I definitely don't want to start 0-1.
I'm going to have to go with my boy KP on this one.
I might have to go with Kevin because I don't know who Michael James is.
Yeah, I don't know him either. So.
All right, moving on to the main event of the evening, Jason Robinette versus Mike West. And for those of you that don't know Mike West, I believe he's been competing since the early 90s. He's been to WAF Worlds multiple times, and I believe he's even a world champion for Masters. So Mike West is no joke. However, as always, Jason Robinette is proving people wrong. He's getting stronger, training with Todd Hutchins. However, I do have to go with Mike West as the favorite. He gave Rich a hell of a match at Ohio State's with one arm, and he was giving you a hell of a match, Rich. So I just think Mike West, he's a veteran. He's got a lot of experience, and I think he's going to give Jason some problems.
Yeah, so the last time I saw Mike West was the one-arm match against Rich. It was a hell of a match. What? I mean, it's not like he did it. It's not like he. It's not like he. It's okay. He didn't like choose to not have an arm. He was injured that day. Right. That said, I think that Jason is on a. He's really leveling up. On the right. He had a hell of a time with Tim on the left in last Dawg Fights, but it's a totally different arm. I think it's time that this new generation steps up, and I'm going to take Jason on this one.
So it is true. I also remember that day where Mike West was not even holding on to the peg, and can I curse on this? Motherfucker is strong as shit. I pulled him righty, and like he just has like this. If you're his opponent, this horrible sticky point, and so I would advise Jason to stay out of that sticky point. If Jason can figure out a path and not get stuck in that little sticky point that Mike West has, then I think we have a match. If Mike West so happens to be able to apply that sticky point, then we'll see what Jason does when he gets caught and gets pulled into like deep waters.
Okay, so just like you said, Jason's definitely been pulling with Todd a lot, almost every week. Every week he's been pulling with Todd, and I messaged Jason a lot, talked to him a lot. He's been leveling up like crazy too. I know he just had that match with Tim. And, I know he's left-handed, and Jason's definitely stronger on his right by a lot. So, and he gave Tim a run for his money too. So I'm gonna have to go with Jason on this one.
Mike West. I'm gonna have to go with Mike West on this one. Just like everybody else says, if Jason can find the lane, I think if he can just hit hard, separate him from the beginning. Don't let him get that elbow sunk at the back of the pad. I think you'll have a chance. But yeah, I got to go with Mike on this one.
That's how good he is.
Man, you didn't even know the guy's name, and you're picking Mike.
I seen what he did to Rich.
Yeah, he's a tough guy. So definitely prove me wrong, Jason, because I want you to win as a friend and as a teammate. But I think it's going to be a tough match. So that was our predictions for Dawg Fights 5. Once again, as long as it's a good match, we're all winners, right?
That's right.
So once again, this is January 6th, Wellington, Ohio at Inner Circle Gym. And remember, if you're coming to spectate, there is a $5 entry fee. This goes directly towards the athletes. The top 3 matches will get a cut of the purse. So say we generate $400, we will split that evenly between the top 3 matches. That way our athletes can go home with some money. Guys like Mike West, he's traveling all the way from Indiana, I believe. So if he wins, he'll go home with some of that money. So hope you guys are there. It's going to be an amazing event. And obviously the video will be out January 7th. So we will see you guys then. Thanks.